So you've decided to cut gluten, sugar, and dairy out of your life, but you're not really sure what that leaves you left to eat. Well, you've come to the right video.
What's up, world? It's Josiah with Cooked on a Feeling, and if you're looking to live a gluten, sugar, dairy-free life like myself without having to give up delicious foods, then this is the channel for you. Alright, so you probably watched the rest of my videos on YouTube and you're thinking, are you ready to give this a shot? You're ready to see how you feel, but you're not really sure how to start? Well, this is the video to kick you off. So rather than making a video of the things that we can't eat, that would take literally the rest of our lives, I'm gonna make a video on all the things that you can eat. I remember when I started on this journey, walking into the grocery store and being completely overwhelmed and thinking, what am I actually gonna shop for? What am I gonna look for? What do I put in my body now that I can't eat sugar, gluten, or dairy? So this is just kind of a general guide of the things that you can eat, real quick and easy, no recipes or anything fancy, just a list of things that are okay, that are pretty common that you're gonna find in your everyday grocery store in life. Feel free to check out the full list right down here anytime you want. But in the meantime, let's get started. All right, so first on the list is gonna be our meats. There are plenty of other options than meat, so if you're vegetarian or vegan or anything like that, don't tune out just yet. But for those of you that do eat meat, pretty much everything is safe. So all our beefs, our chickens, our porks, our seafoods, anything like that is gonna be totally okay. The only thing you wanna watch for is any additives in those things. As an example, the other day I bought this product, and I realized one day that I was getting sick every time I ate it, literally just a couple days ago. I checked out the ingredients. It had soy, which sometimes can mess with me, and it also had dextrose, which is sugar. So when you're buying these foods, just check and make sure it just says hamburger or just says chicken and nothing extra. That being said, the meats we can have are all the basics. We have beef, chicken, pork, and seafood. Okay, numero dos on our list, that's two for those of you who don't know Spanish, is gonna be starches. Now, starches leaves a lot of room for conversation and debate because starches typically do turn to sugar in our systems when we eat this, but it literally is nowhere near processed sugar or cane sugar. That being said, it can still have an effect on our bodies if we're trying to cut sugar entirely. So let me just tell you what the high amount of sugar is in some of these starches, what's super safe, what might be on the fence for you, and kind of let you make your own decision from there. What I recommend doing, again, try out these foods, really take notice of how you react to these foods, and then cut and keep things as it works for your body. All right, so the first thing on our list of starches is gonna be potatoes.
Potatoes.
So potatoes are safe to eat. That is kind of my number one splurge food. I do get French fries pretty much anytime I'm out and about and I want to splurge on something. Since I can't eat most fast food, I'll eat some French fries. It's pretty great. The only thing to watch out for with that is check the batter. Make sure it's not battered with any gluten or wheat or beer. A lot of times they do that with the French fries, but most places you should be pretty safe to go. I like to dice up my potatoes and cook them in the morning with some eggs and bacon and things like that.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Baked potatoes, sweet potato fries. A lot of different ideas and options if you have an air fryer of slicing up potatoes and making French fries. I'll be making another awesome video about how to make the best French fries in the world. It's pretty simple and straightforward, whether you have an air fryer or not, but it's a great way to get some snack food while you're on this diet. Potatoes are pretty safe. I will say that the Idaho potatoes, like the white ones that you get at the grocery store, are definitely potentially the worst for you as far as converting to sugar in your system. So what I have read that the best potatoes are red potatoes. So if you get those, you're gonna have a little bit less sugar entering your body from those than the white potatoes. That being said, potatoes are pretty safe, so you can leave that on a list of fun things that you can still eat. Numero dos on our list, we already know what that means, right guys? Numero dos is gonna be pastas. Now, you might be thinking, Josiah, we can't eat pasta, we're gluten-free. That's where you'd be wrong.
Wrong-o.
There are all kinds of cool pasta alternates that we can eat. I recommend kind of checking them out, seeing what works for you, if you have any reactions. So the first one thing I'm gonna recommend is just a gluten-free pasta. You'll find it at Walmart, it looks like that. And I will say, typically I have very little reactions to these. And for most people, that's gonna be a totally fine option. That being said, always check the back of the box.
What's in the box? box.
If you want to be super safe, you can go ahead and get a veggie pasta. You can find those also in the pasta section, you know, where the pastas are. But they have like spinach pastas, broccoli pastas, I don't know, all kinds of stuff like that. Again, just make sure that it's gluten-free. It'll say on the box if it is.
What's in the box?
Just always read the back of the box. But that's an option, and it might look something kind of like this. Also, just another fun little tip for you. If you get a zoodle maker on Amazon right here, then what you can do is just buy zucchini, get a little crankaroo, and you're gonna have a cool little spiral pasta thing that you can either boil or fry and use that as a base for a spaghetti. I know it sounds crazy and you're like, wow, well, you know, that sounds so gross, zucchini. Actually, it's pretty freaking awesome, and until you try it, you might not believe me, but once you do, I think you'll change your mind. Okay, cool. So that does it for pastas. Number 3 on our list of starches is going to be corn. I really wanted to talk about this one because I don't even know what corn is. If you like Google it and try to figure out if corn is even food, I don't know. I don't think our bodies process it, and for that reason and several others, I would say skip it on the corn. But that being said, I do eat corn sometimes. I don't think it's the absolute worst thing in the world for you. I don't think it's going to hurt you too bad, but I also don't think you're going to get much from it. But long and short of it is, you can eat corn if you want to, but if you're not a super corn lover, I would probably skip it. Skip it! Skip it! Okay, up next we got beans. Beans, 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 beans. Little Jerry Lewis for you Jerry Lewis fans out there. I bet you not a single person will know what I'm talking about other than my family. Beans are totally fine. I highly recommend them. You can get whatever kind of bean you want. There's no rules. I just will say that sometimes I put milk and sometimes I put sugar in beans. So, you know, just to keep an eye out for that.
Loving those beans, hugging those beans. No, it means, mommy, I love you.
Last but definitely not yeast is number 4, bread. I will not apologize for that pun. Now, you might be saying, Josiah, again, we can't eat bread, but guess what? If you haven't figured it out by now, there are alternates to bread that taste pretty freaking good. So pretty much all of the Walmart, anywhere you go, Fresh Time, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, you name it, there's going to be gluten-free bread there. It's a wonderful world that we live in, that we have these options. The only thing that I will say about gluten-free bread is that usually it has sugar in it, so finding a gluten-free, sugar-free bread might be a challenge sometimes, but just check the back of the box, check the back of the bag, have a look at it, and if there's no sugar or you can't eat sugar, then go ahead and snag it. It's pretty dang good, and there's a lot of different types, so go eat your heart out, baby. So the next food that you can definitely eat any amount of that you want is going to be vegetables. Your mama wasn't lying. Veggies are the bomb. So one day my mom told me that her new vegetable recipes taste like candy. It was then and there that I decided to find her a loony bin that she could check into. No, I'm just kidding. I did think she was crazy, but she was actually right. To be honest, some of these vegetables, when they're cooked correctly, do taste like candy. It's not your traditional boiled Brussels sprouts and things like that. There's a lot of really cool recipes now that are super healthy and delicious in the vegetable family. So I'm just going to tell you that vegetables are wonderful, and you can eat as many of them as you want. The cool thing is there's a lot of fiber in them, which makes you feel more full. So it's actually going to fill you up quicker to eat vegetables than it will other things. You can basically eat to your heart's content without worrying about overeating vegetables, which I'm sure you're always worried about eating too many vegetables, but worry no more. Also, if you're trying to lose weight, vegetables really have like, I don't know, 26 or so calories, and you burn just about that many chewing and swallowing. And so if you're looking to kind of keep your calories down, vegetables are the way to go. The last food I'm going to talk about that is kind of a topic of discussion is going to be fruits. So of course, fruits have natural sugars in them, again, which is 1,000,001 times better than added sugars, but those sugars can still mess with you, and they do still mess with me sometimes. There's a list of the amount of sugar that's in each fruit, and some that have lower amounts, some that have higher amounts, and I'm going to let you know what those are right now, so you can know what fruits to avoid and what fruits to keep. So like I said, sugar can spike your blood sugar. It does spike your blood sugar. So if you are going completely sugar-free and you're just down to the wire strict about this, then I would keep fruits completely out of your diet. But if you're looking for something fun and delicious and healthy to eat for a dessert, there are so many things you can do. If you want to stay tuned on some really cool recipes and ideas for these fruits and vegetables and ways to cook food that is healthy and delicious, please pop down and throw me a thumb and boop that subscribe button so you don't miss any of this delicious content. I really appreciate your support. Let's keep going. On the fruit list of fruits that are going to be higher in sugar, that are going to spike your blood sugar the most, we have mangoes, cherries, bananas, grapes, pears, and watermelon. Right here. Again, not to say you can't eat these foods, but those are going to be the highest in the sugar content. So, example, when I make a milkshake for myself, or like, a milkshake, a healthy one, and I have a couple bananas in there, sometimes I can feel that kind of weak and tired feeling, also kind of exhausted, things like that. That's what happens to me when I eat sugar, and I feel like a minor amount of that when I eat too many bananas or fruits and things. But that being said, life's too short, so I do splurge on these sometimes, and I think you totally can too. But I'll just leave that up to you and the way your body reacts to it. Things that are lower in sugar are going to be avocados. Yes, avocados are a fruit. Fight me on it. Aside from avocados, we have raspberries, papayas, and strawberries. Those are all super low in sugar. So if you're looking for a snack that's going to be on the lower end of that sugar spike, go ahead and get those fruits. Okay, so that's going to be it for me. Those are all the things that you can eat without feeling like you're going to die. So I hope this means as much to you as it would have to me when I was trying to figure this out. Again, I'm here on the journey with you, trying to support you and help you along the way. If you have any questions, throw them down in the comments right down below. I would love to hear from you. Again, this is Josiah with Cooked on a Feeling, and hoping you live a happier, healthier, gluten, sugar, dairy-free life. There it is. We'll see you next time. Stay tuned. Ciao for now.